I grew up in a dysfunctional household, which led me to the streets and becoming rebellious. During my life in the streets, I found knowledge of self, which led me to becoming an entrepreneur. I opened a store called Hobby Boys, which was known in the community by many. I also opened a restaurant called Richie's. I was at the peak of my achievements. Things was going great. Life couldn't get no better. And then the pandemic hits. Now I'm back outside, enjoying life to the fullest. Despite the minor setback, it was a plan for a major comeback, which led me into the fashion and creating the brand B-Lo NY and bringing you this content at Real Spill 716. It's your boy Toe Jitto coming at you on Real Spill, where we keep it real. But before we get into it, we're gonna give a moment of silence for someone that lost somebody. All right, now let's get into it. Now, prior to camera rolling, you know what I mean, me and my guy, Louis Armstrong, the man behind the myth, the legend that gets this content popping, was discussing authenticity with ideas. You understand? So just bear with me on this one, because this is just really just free spill right now. You know, we finna just basically kick it about actual facts and reality. You know what I'm saying? Today's times and just the way on how shit is right now, man. You know, that's really the only aspect of Real Spill that I got to converse with today. And we can cover all kinds of angles, cover all kinds of points. But first topic at hand on this aspect is love, man. Let's get to that, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it's so much hate and sideline disrespect in the world today that where's the love? You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the romance. I'm talking about it used to be a time when I showed love, and that's where the honor and the respect came from. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't I show disrespect and then I get respected. That wasn't the case. That wasn't how we interacted with each other and we maneuvered. You know what I mean? That the concept of showing love was the split in the Chico stick, the bust down of the Huggy. We had Upstate Farms, iced teas, fruit punch, orange. Those from my city know the flavors. They know the flavors. We used to put them in the freezer. They ice up. We make our own homemade slushies. That was love, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't mind breaking bread with our comrades. We didn't have no ill will towards the making sure he or she didn't get. That's the crazy part about now. Cause I watch the youth, like those that's under those, that's under those, that's under me type. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of giving my age, but we gonna hold that down. You know what I'm saying? But the youth, yo, they don't have a concept of love, man. And I ain't, like I said, I'm not talking romance. I'm not talking I love you gestures. I'm talking about we went to the store, you had $2, I had nothing. You got a Jolly Rancher stick, bag of chips, you might even got you a Hot Pocket or something. However, how you let me go out the store with nothing? I ain't come from that. I'm at least gonna let you get something for the 50, for the quarter, I got $2. I'm gonna let you get something because you my man or you my padre. I mess with you. I rock with you. I don't wanna see you down. You know what I'm saying? It's wild, man, because in today's atmosphere, you can see there's no love. You got people walking around with blank faces, man. Eyeballs this big, staring into nothing. Highly emotionalist. You know what I mean? Because it ain't that they can't show love, but they don't know love. If they don't know love, they think love is being happy, joyful, and romantic. You know, they try to put that all in the same bubble. But love is actually discipline. You understand? Structure, advice, guidance, direction. You understand? The aspect of wanting the best for you or for the situation or for the circumstance. And I might have touched on this prior, but it just came to me today, you know, on today's date, is just the fact that I gotta spread this kind of wisdom today. You know what I mean? This kind of wisdom gotta be born today because it's serious, man. You know what I'm saying? Love is the highest positive emotion one can have for self and for all things around self and within self. But the fact that it's not being projected in today's day and time is tough. Before we get on the next subject, man, we're going to give a shout out to our sponsor. I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Ep.9, with that great premium quality fashion. They got the stress tees. You see the quality? They got the stress tees of all types, colors. They got yoga sets for women, all types, colors. You see? T-shirts. Got your crop tees for ladies. Got your hoodie dresses for ladies. Got your bags, your crossbodies. I got me one of these already. Feel me? Got your suede truckers. Got your snapbacks. Official tissue. Snapbacks for you. Got your distressed hoodies. Got your distressed shorts. Got your beanies. Come on, man. Get fly with Ep.9. Premium quality, quiet luxury. Word. Check them out at BLONY_2024 on Instagram, or you can check out their website, which is BLO-NY.com. Tell them Real Spill sent you. Nah, but let's get back to it. Let's talk about entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? Business, get some. That was a slogan I said a long time ago. My man still be saying that to me every time he passed through and I see him. Because he know me, I've always been about my business. But let's talk about entrepreneurship. Because this wasn't a recommended path when I was coming up. You understand? This was kind of like the path that had the caution, the yellow tape, the red sign, the do not enter. You know what I mean? But me as a youth, I was always adamant about being self-employed. So that was kind of the reason why the gravitation to the streets was sort of like a no-brainer, because my perspective on why was because I wanted to be an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to own my own and basically be my own boss. But what I learned in the years and the decades of being an entrepreneur is that all I really did was became the owner of my own job. Let me tell you what I mean by that. I was working for myself, but I was working for myself. You understand? I was doing everything, far as the inventory, far as the runs that was needed to be made, far as the paying, the hiring, the deciding, the actual trying to figure out the next move. And it wasn't feeling like a business anymore. It started feeling like a job. Now, wholeheartedly and honorably, I honor my job. And that's why I upheld my position to the T. But what I learned, being an entrepreneur is having your idea work for you. You understand? And with that construction, it takes strategy. It takes implementing plans and moves for the better, for the whole. The employment team, the marketing team, the street team if you got one, the digital team. That's what being a boss is. But what being an owner is being a boss that has those in position to make this whole thing work, to where you can delegate and you don't have to dictate. You understand? That's what real entrepreneurs are doing. They're delegating and they're reaping the proceeds off the idea because it's other people in position dictating the moves, the functions. You know what I'm saying? And me learning that now, because I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. When I say my whole life, I probably had 2 gigs my whole life. And that's youthful gig. I worked at the movies. And I had a little telemarketing gig. I probably was there for like about a week. But other than that, I've always been entrepreneur. You understand? Let's put it like that. And with the sake and the grace, you know, of the Most High and the Creator, I'm allowed to even speak on my entrepreneurial ways. Because now they delegate the ways legal now. You know, when I was ducking and hiding and you know, actually playing those corners, this aspect of entrepreneurship wasn't 100% looked upon with a smile. It was pretty much frowned upon. You understand? Like I said, that's telling my age, but listen, it's real spill. Because now entrepreneurship is pushed as if it's always been the thing to do. Second nature. They acting like, yo, just get you a business and you gonna blow and that's it. You gonna be able to fund your life. But that ain't true. What is true is being an entrepreneur, you can create and become the owner of your job. But to be a real entrepreneur, a business owner, you gotta know how to implement those strategies to put the proper people in the place to execute the task. And then it comes back 360. You understand? You put it out there, they execute it, it comes back, we all reap the benefits. You feel me? Now, you got some people that don't mind owning their job. I was one of those. You know what I'm saying? I had a novelty shop. Now, what a novelty shop is, it's a store that sold pretty much everything. You know what I mean? Everything. Scooters, magazines, DVDs, clothing, cigarettes, blunts, snacks, juices, you know, pretty much everything. Memorabilia, all that. And I had a restaurant bar. You know what I mean? And with them two ventures, I always found myself at work. Even when I tried the leniency dip or leniency veer off and just sit back and watch it do what it do, I always found myself back at work. And that's when I learned it's another level to this entrepreneurial thing. But before I go any further, you know I got to give a shout out to my sponsor. Go and get all your social media needs met, where you could go and rent out podcast space to do your own podcasting or your own YouTube channel, where you need photography, you need product shots, you need on-site film work. Pop out a nigga. My man Louis Armstrong will get you right. Tell him Real Spill sent you. Now let's get back to it. Let's talk about friendship, man. You know what I mean? I'm off the dome today. I'm off the dome. I'm freelancing right now. But we gonna keep it real spill all the time, because that's what it's all about. But let's talk about friendship, man. You know what I'm saying? I come from an era where if I called you my friend, you damn near could stay the night at the house if mama said it was okay. Or I could go to your house and spend the night. if mama said it was okay. We damn near ate each other's food. We ate at each other's. Come on, man. We at a point in time right now where friendship is conditional. You understand? You my friend under certain conditions. And back when I was coming up, that wasn't the case. We didn't even know how to distinguish the difference between you being my friend under conditions. Those type of friends, we called them two-faced. You know what I'm saying? They was two-faced. Them was the friends, we put it out there. Yeah, Roy might have came through and played with us and chopped it up with us, but we knew Roy was two-faced because when Tyshawn and them came around, Roy go right with them. He was hanging with us all day, but he go right with them. But we didn't disown Roy. He still was a friend because he never did nothing detrimental. He never did nothing suicidal or harmful to the bond. We just knew he gravitated to whatever desire or whatever function might have moved him more. You understand? But we took it as a form of two-face. Now, friendships is conditional. They sizing you up. If you ain't wearing the same type of gear and if you don't have the same type of similar image, you not with the clique. You not with the baddies. That's why the baddies all look the same. With a twist here, with a drop of dye there. But they all look the same. This is why their attitudes are all the same. Because friendships is conditional. And real people, real ninjas, real individuals, female or male. Friendships is not conditional. But friendships are honorable though. You understand? So that's what I mean by why it's not conditioned. Because if your behavior as us as friends can't be honored, then I can't be your friend for real. And it's a lot of false pretense and a lot of kikiing and a lot of hey girl. And a lot of what up those. And like they said back, you ain't gotta lie to kick it. But it's a lot of lying to kick it. It's a lot of people trying to be your friend because they want to absorb your emotion. They want to absorb the popularity and the clout that you got. You got to be mindful of these things. Because nowadays, this shit has become life-threatening. Friendships ain't even friendships no more. People going on vacations and they bodying they friends. People going over here and they unaliving they friends. You know what I'm saying? People is trolling, tagging and catfishing to do all this kind of detrimental, harmful acts to their friends though. To the people that they considered, yo, that's my friend. I remember when this right here, the rude boys used to give you this. And if they gave you this, you was honored. This was a badge of honor. This was like solid. When they gave you this, when you two up in the, you know what I mean. When all this and when this was honored. That meant you was my man. That meant you was my man. My man meant you was more than a friend, but the friend started at the playground, football field, hide and go seek, high school, junior high school, elementary, wherever it started, the connection between us honoring each other's character and behavior is what made you my friend. Nowadays, it's missing. You got youth looking at each other in the form of disrespect, and they saying that that's my friend. What's up, itch ass? You know what I mean? Oh, you's a ugly ass. All that kind of, this has become terms of endearment to my man, my homie. I clown him, he lame, but we still cool. I don't know nothing about that, man. You know what I'm saying? And I feel for the youth. I feel for the young ladies, especially for the young ladies, because if she bad, they all want to be her friend. If she cool, they all want to be her friend. If she around, she bout that ratchet, bout that drama, they all want to be her friend. But if she's smart, if she pretty, if she's subtle, if she humble, now they want to attack her. They want to troll her. It's out of control, man. But I'm going to end it on that note, man. For real, man. Watch those people that be close to you and make sure they do what they supposed to do. In the quote of the great Nas, man, real spill, 716. We out.